spread out. Spread out. Oh, yeah. What are we going to chat about, gents? Are movies hi-fi? Can we do movies in hi-fi? And I would assume in the headphone realm, because we know we could do it with speakers. Well, kind of.
Yeah. It's pretty uncommon to see movies delivered on headphones and with the context of it being like a really high-end experience. Usually you always expect speakers, some sort of surround sound system, subwoofers, that kind of classical setup, reclined on a couch or whatever.
Yeah.
So headphones, it is atypical. I guess, can you do it with headphones? Can you have a really high-end theater-like experience with headphones?
Well, the problem is you need a really long headphone cable.
Yeah. Well, we could make that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have one though. But,
Oh.
but I think it's becoming more common
Yeah.
for people to watch movies with headphones. Because Dolby has their new Atmos for headphones for movies and stuff, and movies are being encoded for Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, that thing's kind of confusing, though, because I could never tell if the First of all, I think you can only get it if you plug it into a headphone jack or a receiver. Right? I think.
Yeah, it decodes it through the receiver.
Yeah. So, and then I don't even know, at that point, do you actually get it out of the headphone jack because it's stereo versus multi-channel. So, I wish these guys that make these fancy receivers, I don't care how much they cost, would key in more on a headphone output with Atmos, or some black box they could give us to.
Well, they do get specific.
Yeah.
They say if you come out of an Xbox or a PlayStation, that it needs to go through a receiver
Right.
to work on headphones. But out of a PC, it works out of the headphone jack. So just plug your headphones in.
On the PC.
Yeah.
Or, like you said, a USB DAC out of the PC.
Which is still a PC.
Would work,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have supported hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be the key then if you're running a PC to watch movies, which who's really
Home
doing
theater
that?
PCs, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I've done that, but it wasn't like a home theater type experience with a TV. It was just a monitor, so
Yeah.
I guess you didn't really get the full experience, but it can be immersive. It's a little tricky, though, because if you compare it to a normal high-end setup, I think you do miss the subwoofer, the feel
Yeah.
of it. But in a lot of regards, it is superior, though, because the imaging is so vastly superior than you would expect to find in a normal theater setup, a home theater speaker setup.
Well, you don't need a whole room either.
Right, because
Yeah.
getting that right in a room, which we talked about before in other
Yeah.
videos, that's really, really hard to get imaging right
expensive, too.
with speakers. Really expensive, very challenging. And so usually, especially with a multi-channel setup, people just don't do it. It's just too complicated.
Which is surprising. I mean, because now headphones are, look at what we got here in terms of resolution, right? It
Yeah.
blows my mind that there's no clear path to watch a movie.
I mean, you can.
With a
Stereo.
damn high-end headphone.
Stereo, you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, right.
Yeah.
But, still, there should be a way. I mean, as far as I know, Atmos works stereo, right? It adds atmosphere. Or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It still will work, yeah.
It works pretty good.
I know there's an
can get
app you can
pretty
buy
good
for
atmosphere.
a PC.
Yeah, it's like $15.
Yeah, which is nothing.
It's just a plug-in.
The problem with the PC idea is that, A, I don't use a PC myself. B, the PCs usually aren't anywhere near you. Like when you're watching a movie, unless you're watching it on a computer screen, you're usually way back. You got your 86 incher up there on the wall or whatever the hell your NE4 or whatever, 70 something, And
You got to have a home theater PC.
Yeah, and then the problem is routing that over to your headphone, like you said. Now
Yeah.
you need a 20-foot
20-foot cable.
Yeah, headphone cable. Which I don't know. There's got to be a better way. And I'm cool with that. There's nothing wrong with having long headphone cables, but it is unclear. If you got to admit, there's no clear path to watching movies, which is a shame. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, I know most people these days just run sound bars too. Like multi-channel is not
Yeah.
really as much of a thing anymore.
Right.
They all support Atmos, but I don't know how well they actually can pull it off being a sound bar.
Yeah. Right. Some of them work pretty good, I guess. I've never used
Yeah.
them, but they sound pretty cool in the store.
Yeah.
But yeah. That
Hard
is
to
the
tell.
thing now. Instead of doing multi-channel
It's a lot
speakers all over
easier.
the room, wiring a room is difficult. Yeah, and we're back to that word convenience again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, headphones can be very convenient.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so much easier than setting up a bunch of speakers. And for a lot of people, home theater PC is something they already have. So they could do Dolby Atmos or any of those DSP type deal things to give you more space or ambiance or whatever.
Not only that, you could have multiple headphones if you have 2 or 3 people in the house.
Yeah.
Again, you don't need a room. You just need a Y adapter.
Hmm.
And at night, it's no worries. Not bugging anybody.
A lot of times people will watch movies late at night. And
Yeah.
if you're renting or you're in a situation where you can't play stuff really loud, it's obviously a pretty big advantage to be able to crank it up in your headphones and not have to worry about these things. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of pros. Really, the only con is you don't get the rumble in your chair that you do with subwoofers. But you could get some sort of subwoofers that...
They have actuators for
Yeah,
chairs.
you could do it.
buy.
get those,
You could.
or you could get some sort of auxiliary subwoofers.
Or just run a
outside your
sub in
headphones.
a room. You could
Yeah.
turn it on and off at night if you don't want it at night.
Yeah, it kind of defeats some of the purpose.
I mean, if you're going to have to run a receiver to get Dolby Atmos anyway, you got sub outs. So it'd be pretty
Yeah.
damn easy to run subs.
I kind of wanted to try that.
I don't know what would happen though if you plug a headphone in a receiver. If you could tell it not to turn off the subs, if it would know better. I
Yeah,
think
you
a lot of
can.
them will
A
switch.
lot of them you can change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I know I tried looking into this a couple months ago, when we were stuck at home, and it was really difficult to find any clear path to hook up
Yeah,
headphones
there's nothing.
with Dolby. It's really. I guess I'm starting to see it more now. I see Atmos starting to be mentioned in more propaganda on
well,
the receiver, the
gaming.
latest receivers.
Gaming is why,
Ah,
because they're putting Atmos in games now.
well, there you go.
And then gaming, everybody uses gaming
Right.
headsets for spatial awareness and
That's-
everything. So it's actually
yeah.
going to become more popular, probably because gaming,
Well, it's
not
about
because of
damn
movies.
time because they've had this out for years.
Yeah,
as far
yeah.
as I know. I don't know what the hell took them so long.
You're
but-
using Diana's for gaming now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I've been using Diana's for gaming for a bit now as well.
Yeah.
And it's really advantageous, surprisingly enough. The imaging performance is considerably better, even on a low definition source, like a game, and it's helpful for locating other players.
I'll bet.
yeah. Well, Modern Warfare is an Atmos game, so actually
Oh,
I could
I
run
don't
it.
even have it
You couldn't
enabled.
run it, so you just got to turn it on. You could try
Yeah.
it. I didn't try it yet, but
Oh.
it's on the list.
You need it, and you need an external DAC going USB into the whole PC, and
Yeah.
if you want good sound.
Already have that.
I tried the headphone out or the line out on the PCs, and they're shit. I mean, it's just
Oh
not-
yeah, it's not good.
The audio coming directly out of a PC is not good. You need an external. You got to come out of
Yeah.
it well, digital.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
stellar, but it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
There's no res there at all.
I'm running the
It's
Manhattan
noisy.
2 on off my PC
Uh,
into the GSX Mini.
oh,
That's
cool.
my gaming setup.
That's freaking nice.
It's nice.
I'm gonna want me one of them.
Yeah.
I don't play games, but
Yeah.
maybe you could do that. Maybe come headphone out of a receiver into a GSX Mini,
Well, you could.
and
Yeah.
put the Mini right next to you, so you got a volume control and everything.
Well, yeah, it's just right here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We could encompass the other part of the question, though.
Yeah.
So if movies or if theater is hi-fi, I guess that would really ask whether or not the audio that you get with a movie, a typical movie that you see, is actually good enough to warrant a high-end setup like this. And I would say yes, now especially.
Most movies.
Yeah.
You look at the old movies. Well, so many of them, the audio was really bad on
Yeah,
those.
it's like
really,
mono.
really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't
Yeah.
thinking about it.
No.
It wasn't a high priority, right? And as time went on, it got better and better. As addition to the visual effects and whatnot, they've been improving as time goes on. And now you see the audio has to come along to keep pace with the rest of the advancements in resolution and whatnot.
I never thought about it though. Like when did they start bumping up the audio in movies? I really don't know.
Blue's, I
80s?
guess.
Late 80s?
Well, like actual lossless audio.
Well, it depends how
Was-
far
Yeah.
back you wanna
So
go.
that would have been 90s.
2000s.
Oh.
2005 when Blu-ray came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I would
DVD was
say-
still
So
compressed.
basically before that, they just didn't give a shit.
Well, it was just compressed.
At least late 2000s
Yeah.
until you actually got to the point where it sounds modern. Like if you watch an old movie now, so many of them are really awful. The audio is just clearly an afterthought.
So that's probably when multi-channel audio in the home got popular. Multiple speakers, 5.1, 6.1, blah, blah, blah.
I guess, yeah.
Or 7.
7, 8,
Yeah,
9.
they started selling a lot of speakers.
Yeah.
I don't know which came first, the speakers or the higher end audio. Probably the speakers, but I don't
Maybe.
know. Maybe
I don't
both. Maybe they're simultaneous.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Now, especially on any type of feature film, the audio is usually pretty good.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot of merit to having a high-end setup if you want to have a more immersive theater experience. And headphones are a great way to do it if you don't have a gigantic room, you don't want to invest in a whole bunch of speakers, and you have some sort of other factors that make it advantageous to minimize your sound output.
It's nice even for like sports. You
Well,
know?
yeah.
Like I've had a 5.1 system in my great room for years. Some definitives on the wall behind.
Yeah,
Spread
yeah.
out. It works good with a receiver, subwoofer. Works great. And I really like you're watching football or something.
Yeah.
People kick mics and shit all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
so the sub bounces.
Well, it's live. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think. I mean, they actually seem to pay particular attention to their sound quality. Though they're pretty good. sports are fun with it too. I mean, versus like just listening on whatever, a TV speaker. I mean, that would be like, geez, the dark ages.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
TVs are getting better.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But only so much.
I know. I was watching not Wrath of Khan, Undiscovered Country, Star Trek 6 the other day on my multi-channel, and the thing that's not great is that like the audio sounds really good out of the main speakers, like any kind of like a theme comes on,
right?
But then when it goes to the center on the vocals, they all sound like muffled and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a little mismatched. So it
Could be
depends
your
on the music.
speakers.
No,
No,
because I've watched other movies on it.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's just you could
so you
hear
got the
the
front three matched up pretty good.
yeah. You could hear that once it goes to the vocals, they just sound
Why
muffled.
the hell that would be?
Well, it's pretty old now, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be.
More
Just the way it
modern
was
stuff.
mixed.
Yeah, sounds a
Yeah.
lot better.
Yeah.
They didn't put a huge amount of rich content on the channels other than the front two, it seemed.
Yeah.
Because it always used to be like that back in the day. The center channel came on, and like,
Maybe,
the vocals were on it. and it
maybe
was
when they
frumpy.
mixed that mix, maybe they had a shitty center and they dumbed it down and
Well,
not knowing.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
I don't know what they were. I don't know what when they were doing the movie, what they were listening to it on.
Yeah, well, they clearly mastered the music separately.
Because early
Yeah.
on, people didn't pay a lot of attention to center, rears. They always said, "Oh, it doesn't matter." Subs. A lot of things didn't matter at the beginning. Then all of a sudden, when you have a pan scene, right, when something's going left,
Yeah.
right, and the center is a totally different speaker.
Yeah,
The pan just messes up. Same with pan front to rear or rear fronts.
Yeah.
Same thing, really.
Well, that's the cool thing about
You know?
headphones, though. When you're doing fancy pants DSP and headphones, your drivers are the same left and right. So you don't have these huge discrepancies. As long as you have good DSP, like Dolby Atmos or whatever, as long as
Yeah,
the
right.
processing is pretty good,
That's why I think it would work
you
really
don't
well.
run into these issues.
that's
Yeah.
true.
We had that demo, and it sounded pretty decent. Remember we were fiddling it when you
Yeah.
first got that computer?
Yeah,
And it sounded pretty
right.
interesting
It was
on the
pretty
demos
cool.
that they had.
Yeah, we just never got into it any further.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounded like a theater. Is
Yeah.
what they're going. It had they were just thunderous bass
Yeah.
on the Atmos demos,
Yeah.
which is I guess is what people are looking for. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of merit. I think it could work, but right now it does seem to be a little on the early stages.
Yeah,
Some stuff supports it really well, other things not so much. Some movies really don't do it as good as
Well, we'll have to
others.
figure it out. We got to spend more time on this and figure it out. I looked into it, and there's no one box solution other than a receiver.
yeah,
And then it's questionable as to what the receiver's doing with the headphone out.
yeah.
And that needs to be clarified. And there's just no, I looked through even the owner's manuals for the receivers. I don't care if it's a $4,000 Denon. They don't talk about the headphone out jack, what it does.
Mhm.
If it's, Atmos capable, just like the line outs are. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's unclear. And I guess an email to them would answer this. So I guess what we need to do is do a little more detective work.
Yeah,
Figure out how to do this and then report back to everybody. How the hell you hook a damn
yeah. I would like
really
to
good quality headphone on?
know myself.
Yeah,
I mean, my receiver's a few years old, so it doesn't have Atmos, so
right.
can't really play with it yet. But
I hear that.
build
There-
a home theater PC.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, right now
Right.
I got a Mac home theater PC. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they have the same plugin for.
I don't know either. I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's
I
only
don't. I
PC,
think it's PC only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is why I can't use it because now I really don't use PC.
yeah,
So we'll figure it out.
yeah. Had,
Can't be too hard.
yeah.
No, I think
But-
you got. I think you got a receiver. That's what I came down
think
to.
we're just at the point where it's going to become a thing
Yeah.
because of gaming.
Yeah.
Next gen consoles, and they're actually going to like start supporting it in all games, and so people might actually
That'll
care
do
about it.
Because now
That-
you
that's a
need
huge market.
Right now
Yeah.
you need a black box. You
Yeah.
need something.
Well, the Xbox would do it, but you need a receiver. So I don't know if people are going to start buying receivers then.
Well, you know what we ultimately need? I mean, it doesn't sound that difficult, but for whatever reason it doesn't exist, is we need something that runs off the eARC channel of the TV. And that's it, and gives you a headphone out or line out, stereo
Yeah.
line out, whatever it gives you. We need a decoder that goes eARC, because then we don't need receiver, full-blown receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really don't. I mean,
You don't need any of the features.
I'd be happy with digital out, for Christ's sakes. Just give me,
Yeah. Well, it's
give,
the whole
give me
thing.
9624,
That's been a
optical,
problem
whatever.
because
as long
everything's
as it has Atmos.
everything's stuck in HDMI. That's the problem.
Yeah, right. They don't
If
want
you're
to
not
Yeah.
driving speakers and you only have one input source, which most people do now anyways, maybe two. You have like your game console and then you have some sort of streaming source or your Blu-ray player or whatever.
Yeah,
What do you even need a receiver for anyways, right? Everything just goes into the TV.
true.
So,
I think
yeah.
most people are probably streaming, but yeah, you're right.
All you
Yeah.
need is a box that handles Dolby Atmos over HDMI right into your headphones with a
Yeah.
built-in amplifier that's decent.
But unfortunately, it sounds like the PC is the only real solution if you want to run the
Yeah.
app.
Yeah. Right now, I
With an
do
external
I do
DAC.
have one Dolby Atmos capable setup.
Yeah,
My TV.
Yeah.
It's so poor. It comes up Dolby Atmos in the corner. My
Yeah.
TV can do Dolby Atmos, but
I know,
nothing else
but
can.
you can't get it off
No,
the TV.
No, I
well, that was
can't, I
my
can't do
problem
anything
too.
with
I got
it.
a brand new Sony and I
Yeah.
can't get it off the TV.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
Same
well, I
here.
could use the computer. I mean, the TV speakers.
And
but
I've
that's
tried the
it.
headphone out of the TV. It sucks too. It's
Yeah.
it's just
Well, they're
very
made-
soft sound. It's made to cover up noise.
Yeah.
There's no resolution to
A
it.
PC is probably what makes sense right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking about building a gaming, like, workstation, home theater PC thing.
Yeah.
So maybe I could give that a try.
Yeah, because an external deck would be great.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be the way to go. Then we could play with whatever, because I throw a Saga deck on there, Manhattan 2, whatever the hell we want, throw some decks at this thing and see what really works well.
Yeah, I don't have any content though. That's the problem right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I have is that one game that's compatible. I didn't try it yet though, so I'll have to try it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Leave a comment letting us know what you'd like to see in a future video. And as always, stay subscribed to see us.
Take care.
Take care.